thinking about getting into backpacking, do I really need to spend $40 on this titanium cook pot, or is this going to work for me? Morning everyone, Ray from Hike-ALOT. Hey, one of the things I get asked pretty often is just how much do I need to spend to get into backpacking? And that's one of the things that I think really deters a lot of people from getting into the hobby is just really that price point. Well, we joke and say, you spend a fortune to live like you're homeless when you're backpacking. And that's a pretty fair assessment. You can tap just an absolute fortune on things that you're going to drag out there with you. Things that are, I'm going to spend a little bit more on this puffy jacket because it's lighter than that jacket, or this ultralight backpack because it's 12 ounces lighter than this pack is. I try to tell people that are new to the sport, new to the hobby, don't spend a fortune getting into everything. Find stuff that's going to be functional, that is going to last me until I can slowly replace those things. And that's what I did. I started out very much with one of these little cook kits that was very functional for me, that I've used for years and years and years. And then as I moved into slowly replacing the things as I had time and as I had money, I started backfilling in with things that were as functional but also lighter. And sometimes that does equate to spending a little bit more money. But right out the gate, let's talk about this Stanley Cook Kit, because this is going to be a very, very cheap option that will serve you for years, that'll get you out on the trail without breaking the bank all at the same time. Okay guys, the little flashy titanium cook pots, they do work great, and there's nothing whatsoever wrong with carrying these things. Obviously I have one, actually I've got several of them. I use them because they are a lighter solution. Having said that though, I don't advocate anyone just immediately deciding that this is the route that they need to take on their journey into backpacking right out the gate, unless money is just absolutely not an alternative. I'd rather see people spend money on stuff to get into the hobby and see if the hobby is actually for them, as opposed to jumping in with both feet and kind of getting overwhelmed by the prices on it. But when it comes down to it, this is a 750 milliliter titanium pot, and it's going to come in, so this is our benchmark here at 3.46 ounces is what my scale is reading. It's going to be hard to get much lighter than this, but there are some more economical options out there that are going to be a little bit heavier. This pot I can pick up online anywhere from about $34 to about $45, depending on where you're looking for it at. Whereas you can pick these Stanley Cook Kits up. I think this is what they call the Adventure Kit. That's one person, it's a 24 ounce or 0.7 liter cook kit. You can pick these things up on Amazon or even at places like Walmart for usually, I've seen them as low as about $12, as high as about 20, somewhere in that neighborhood. A little bit bigger profile obviously, but it's plenty of room to actually do plenty cooking in. Kind of roll it over here, and this is stainless, so it is going to be a bit heavier. They obviously both have got strainers in here, both with removable lids on there. This one actually has a locking mechanism for the handle on here, so a nice little sturdy long handle, whereas this cook kit had these little flip over rings, but obviously it doesn't stick out nearly as far as the Stanley does. The two biggest complaints I have over this cook kit, if you are just cooking in off of a little propane stove or a little butane stove, it's not a big deal. But if you're cooking this over the campfire, this little plastic pull tab has a tendency to melt and come apart. I'm going to show you what I do with that. But then also inside here comes two of these plastic cups, and these things are just absolutely indestructible, but they're also heavy. I usually take these things out of a new cook kit, and I'll be honest, I probably have 4 or 5 of these. I have no clue where these cups are except for these two in my hand right this minute. But it is set up to be sort of a 2-person cook kit, because it is, like I said, a little bit bigger capacity. But these cups, they're just heavy, they're bulky, I don't really use them. So with the label on there, which I'm not going to pull that off right now, so we're at 7.8 ounces without the cups inside it. If I were to keep the cups, that obviously is going to go up considerably, so it's even 14 ounces, so they double the weight of the cook kit. It has the graduated lines inside there so you can see how much water you actually have inside there. They're nice and easy to read from the front and the back because you can actually see them step down on the side. Nice durable kit, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Okay, so I mentioned that I have several of these and use them pretty often. What mine normally end up look like is more like this. Kind of walk you guys through the changes here. One thing that you're going to notice on here is I put a bail on here so that I can actually hang my cook kit. And all I did was just took and put it on the drill press and popped 2 holes in either side of it. And I just took a metal coat hanger and molded it around it and snapped it inside. And just pushed it through and bent the tips of it. You can see them they're just bent over inside here. And now I've got something nice and sturdy that'll hang and hold on. And I also went through on here and replaced that little plastic tab, pushed the rod out that sits inside there, and just put a keychain split key ring in here. But this little cook pot, I don't know how many meals I have cooked in this thing at this point. It's been hundreds, if not more. There's absolutely zero issue whatsoever with the cook pot from an integrity perspective. It's got a nice little patina to it. Still nice and clean on the insides. Holding up just absolutely wonderfully. We'll see what the weight is on this one without the tag on it, just for the sake of curiosity, now that we've added the bail and the split ring to it. So we're at even 8 ounces. So it's a little bit heavier than this with just the logo on there, but by the time I've added the bail and replaced this piece up here, it creates a little bit more. So I'm still, you know, more than double the weight of this cook pot. So I'm more than double the weight of this, but having said that, I can buy 3 of these for what I would buy 1 of these for. So if you're getting into the hobby of backpacking and hiking, this may be a much easier entry point for you. And people often will ask me if these things are really worth having because they are cheap. As you guys can see with this, I've had this one for at least 10 years. It's cooked a lot of meals, and it will cook a lot of meals going forward. Okay, I hope you found that beneficial. You know, it's a nice little entry-level cook pot that will serve you for years going down the road. It's not the lightest thing out there, but it is one of the cheapest things, and it will definitely last you for as long as you need it to last you until you can, you know, replace it with something that's a little bit lighter whenever time and budget allows. But outside of that, these things you just about can't kill. So hopefully it serves you just as well on the trail as it has me. And if you're out there right now, as always, just remember, left foot, right foot, repeat. We'll see you out there soon.